Hello and welcome to day number 107. Hey, how's it going? I am, as you can tell, a little bit fresher. It was definitely time for a bit of a shave, and also probably tomorrow or Saturday I'm going to be recording the trailer for my channel. Like, I'm actually getting that all cut together. I've got all my stuff ready to go. I've actually got some nice funky new animations and graphics and stuff for subscriber things. Yeah, like I've had like a fairly productive day. Unfortunately, the payment for that productive day is something that I'm not very happy about. I was intending fully to keep up the Mary's Mini rules for day 11, day 12, day 13, etc. But circumstances today have led me to break the rules of the Mary's Mini, even though I'd already completed the 10 days. So, you know. But I did my way in and then broke it later. So, let's get to the skinny of it. What is the effect of 10 days of eating according to the rules of the Mary's Mini? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at where I started, which is over this side here. It's like in the middle of the screen there. And then we're going to look at where I finished, which is over here. Now, those are both, you know, kilos versus pounds. Here is exactly how much that all translates to as a loss. So I think we can definitely say that following a Mary's Mini is pretty successful. It's pretty good. I mean, that is 10 days of following along with just like the basic rules of the Mary's Mini, which, you know, the information is available in multiple places, but I would say probably one of the best collected places is like Chuck's article on it, the Brand New Vegan article. That's pretty good. I've got a link up there in the corner, or up there in the corner, one of the two. I think up in that one. Is it up in that one? I can never remember because I record two cameras so I can see myself, which is why I'm never looking at like exactly on camera. Exact on camera is right here. The rest of the screen where I can see myself is like there. So that's why I'm always looking like not directly at you, and it's terrible. I should look more at you, you know, like we're engaging this way. We're talking a little bit more. Although if I maintain eye contact for too long, then it feels a little bit weird for you and kind of a little bit weird for me, but you know. Like it's worked. It does work. I mean, I look a little bit less than what I did. We have a non-scale victory today as well. So I was getting ready, and now I went to the shop a couple of days ago, and I bought some extra large t-shirts, some large t-shirts, and some medium t-shirts, because I was like, the t-shirts that I've got are a little bit on the baggy side. Like, I'm still occasionally switching into my nerdy t-shirts, which are like, you know, they're like double XLs, triple XLs in some cases. Like, that's pretty bad. I was like, right, okay, well, some of them now are starting to look a little bit like dresses and just like be very flowy. Like, I've lost enough weight where like they definitely don't fit anymore. You know, they're like the sleeves on t-shirts are hanging down to my elbow as opposed to like where they naturally fall. So I was like, right, okay, well, I'll buy a bunch, and then like I've got large t-shirts so I don't have to go out and buy them when I get to a large size. And I'll buy some extra larges so that, you know, I've got a couple extras to where they're a little bit baggier because, you know, it's going to be a long process getting there. And I've got some mediums, which is what I'm going to be working towards getting in. And after I shaved and everything, I went into my bedroom, I got the bag of the new clothes. I said, let's have a bit of a giggle, let's have a laugh, let's try on a large and see how it fits and how much of like, you know, how much of a muffin top and stuff it gives me. And it fits perfectly. It's what I'm wearing now. Like the shoulder seam is on my shoulder. Like it's about where I imagine that it needs to be. It's snug. Don't get me wrong, it is snug. Like, I fill it out. It's not wrinkled, really. But it's not awful. Like, I look okay in it. So that is weird. That is really weird. That is like the first time that I've worn clothing that does not have an X on the sizing tag in over 15 years. Possibly closer to like 18, 17, 18, something like that. Which is, it's awesome. And there's so much still to go. Like, I'm not even like halfway through what I would like to be. I'm down from where I started at 292 pounds to 244, roughly, which is like, it's just shy of 50 pounds from start to current. And I wanted to get down to like 150-ish, 190, like somewhere close to like, you know, in between like 150 and 200 is like exactly where I want to be, pretty much. I'm fairly short. I'm like 170 centimeters, which is like 5'5" or something. Like it's pretty short. So I can probably aim towards like a lower end of like 70, 75, 80, something like that, and look perfect as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's like this weird little milestone that I genuinely didn't even like think about. Like, I've always worn clothing that has like it's an XL. Like, even the smallest I remember is like, oh, I need XLs. And now I don't need that. I can get by with Ls, apparently. Yeah, that's just weird. It's seriously weird. Another weird thing as well, like, I'm totally sorry. This is just like completely too much information, pretty much. I'm fairly certain. But do you know what? It's my vlog. I'm going to talk about it. So I was in the shower today, and like, for the most part, like, I'm a dude in the shower. You get in the shower, you scrub, you rinse, and then you get out. And like, I don't have to worry about hair because I don't really have any. Like, you know, no one stands there and shampoos their chest hair and stuff. Like, it's just part of body wash, like whatever. But I was in there, and I had like the scrubby loofah sponge thing. And I'm like scrubbing away, and I'm scrubbing my leg. And I realized that, like, as I'm looking down, the way that I've got my leg, all of the muscles in my leg, I can like see them. Like, they're not like super well defined, but like you can see there's definition there where there wasn't before. And I was like, oh God, that's really weird. That's like looking at like someone else's leg that's attached to me. Like, it doesn't fit with like my mental image of myself at all. And then I was like stood there, and like, I was just like, you know, the water's just rinsing over like my shoulder and my back and stuff. And I'm like looking down at my leg, and I noticed that like I'm turned a little bit more than I was before. I can see like a lot of the back of my leg. Like, I can see like the back of my knee. I can see like all of the back of my knee, a little bit of the back of my thigh. I can see that like there's actual like a definition to like the bottom of my ass. You know, like, instead of it just being like, oh yeah, I'm fat, and it's just like this weird like doughy sort of like 2 doughy sticks that lead into like a doughy butt. Like now there's like a defined end to the underside of my butt, and like then it goes into legs. And I'm stood there and I'm like looking down at myself, and like I just don't recognize these parts of myself. Like I haven't seen something like that in so long, or like, you know, just haven't even noticed it, that now it's like it's this weird thing that I can't stop thinking about. Like like my stomach as well. Like I've mentioned a couple of times, you know, there's visceral fat, which is like the really hard stuff that's around your organs, and it's pretty solid, and it's the stuff that you see like builders with, you know, like guys who've got beer bellies and stuff. That's visceral fat. That's like this solid lump that is like really like insulating your organs, and it's stopping them from moving and stopping them from growing, and it's this horrible, just solid lump. And my stomach was like that for the longest time. I was in denial about it. You know, I'm probably still in denial about it up until I started losing weight and said like, oh yeah, there is like this massive difference between like squidgy fat that's right on the outside and like on my arms and stuff, and like what is in my torso, what's in my abdomen. And like while I was like, you know, scrubbing and showering and stuff, my stomach was like being pushed around and moved in ways that it's never done before. Like it was more like moving it around and like pinching it and stuff, because I, you know, once I discovered like, oh my god, my belly is moving in a weird way, like, you know, like playing with it and stuff and trying to figure out like what the hell is going on. And like my stomach now, it feels like manipulating a really big batch of bread dough. It's just like, here is this thing that is like kind of doughy and like gelatinous, sort of. That's not really the right word, I guess, but like it's malleable. It like you can move it and like contort it and stuff. Kind of like after a woman's just given birth, like the stomach of like the skin over the stomach and stuff is still stretched out. It's not like come back to what it normally is, like, you know, elasticity and stuff. And you can like press that around and move it around and stuff. And it feels like kind of weird. Let's not kid ourselves. Like it's very different to normal, but it's like that, and it's really weird. Like it really is. Like shaving as well. I was like shaving and stuff, and what I found was I was having to like pull my skin taut on my cheeks and stuff, because like when I'm drawing the razor down, there's like this little like wave of skin that's like, you know, sort of like ballooning out in front of it. And I was like, you know, sort of like doing this to get the doing this to. Sorry, I'll talk properly. You don't need the stupid shaving voice. I'm like stretching out the skin of my cheek using my jaw and stuff, like, you know, to get the smooth surface. Any blokes that are watching this, like, you know exactly what it is. And it's like, I'm having to like pull the skin taut so that I can get all of the hair and get a close shave. Like, it's so weird. It's such a strange thing to like have to start adjusting to. And yeah, like I'm happy with it, don't get me wrong, but like it's this weird like sense of physical discovery that I've not actually had before. Like, you know, I've grown into my body and I've always been a certain way, and I've always been like a size and then bigger and bigger, you know. It's just been like, oh, okay, like my body's getting larger, like whatever, since I was a teenager, you know, like growth spurt and like outwards growth spurt and what have you. and then just like, you know, getting fat and, you know, just more and more and more weight. And it's been this steady climb. And now I'm like, I'm discovering all these weird things about myself as fat just like sort of drips away and melts away. And yeah, it's just, it's cool, but weird. Oh man. Yeah, anyway, look, I've rambled way too much about that. Let's get on with a normal sort of vloggy day, shall we? I forgot to eat lunch. Almost entirely. I meant to cook a bunch of potatoes, but unfortunately did not, because I installed a bunch of programs on the laptop to get it back to what it should be, to get it back to a useful point. I set that running and then went and had a shower and shaved my face and head. And then came into the living room, got all of my stuff and all of the videos and animations and transitions and everything that I'm wanting to use for my trailer, and collated that into a folder on one of the hard drives that I've got in that tower there. So that's ready to go. I just need to record like the 2-camera section once my lights are charged. And I've got like the kitchen set up in a nice way so that it looks awesome. And at that point, Rowan woke up from his nap and came into the living room and just like tried going to sleep on me. But like, because he was like fighting sleeping, because he didn't want to sleep, even though he was very tired. He's just been in a grumpy mood all day. So I didn't have lunch because of doing all of this. And we'd been invited over to Jason's place just to, you know, let Rowan have a play around with some other kids. And I'm like, I don't get to do this enough. I have to take him. So I did. And he was grumpy the entire time. And it came to, they were all eating dinner. Jason, his wife, his kids, you know, and they offered me and Rowan some stuff. And at that point, I was like, I'm carrying on this potato thing. You know, I can't eat anything. And they were like, well, you know, like we've got some celery sticks and some carrot. We could give you some of those. I said, do you know what? Actually, yes, I will have those. So here's a little photograph of it. I did actually try some American mustard. Brian asked me about this actually, because Brian and Jessica got a comment on one of their videos, the mashed potato one that they put up. I thought it was going to be the last 5 days of vlog, but I think that's coming like Sunday, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this mashed potato video that they put up on Wednesday night. Someone had commented and said, oh yeah, you can tell like American mustard isn't spicy because like, you know, you put English mustard on in that quantity that you put in your video, which is linked there, then you'd die. Like you'd just choke. It would be awful. It would be like way too spicy. And Brian messaged me while I was sat there like crunching on a carrot stick and said, hey, like we got this comment, like, can you weigh in? Because you've eaten English mustard, we would assume you are English, or British as the case may be. Like, tell us whether or not there's a difference. And I was like, I'm actually sat at a table with some Americans. They've got some American mustard on the table. Give me 10 minutes and I'll you know, critique it for you. So, American mustard is not very spicy. There's no like mustard to it really. There's like a little bit right at the very, very end of the taste. But for the most part, it's just really vinegary and acidic. Like, it's got a place, I'll say, but it's not a condiment that I would prefer. What I would prefer as a condiment is like English mustard, which, how did I describe it? Yellow wasabi. That's how I described it at the time. It's a little bit can really, really enhance the flavor of stuff and is amazing. I challenge anyone who isn't vegan or vegetarian to have a piece of gammon, have a gammon steak or something, and just smear a little bit of mustard over it. Just a tiny bit, just smeared across the entire thing, and I guarantee you will fall in love with English mustard. French mustard is a little bit more sharp, a little bit more like instant hit rather than like this pleasant, peppery sort of flavor enhancer. But again, like, you know, grey mustard, French mustard has its place too. I will take French mustard on stuff, like absolutely. But yeah, like I tried it. I said, you know, English mustard, hands down, best. And then me and Jason went to board games. Now, yes, kitty, I know. Hi, what's the matter? And then me and Jason went to board games, and you know, like, fun was had. While I was there, I sort of stood there outside the place because I still had Rowan with me. I was waiting for Seguta to arrive and take him off my hands. And I said to myself, do you know what? I've done the 10 days of the Mary's Mini. If I cook potatoes when I get home, normally board games night finishes around about 11 o'clock. By the time I get home, preheat the oven, put my potatoes in and cook them, it's going to be about an hour after that. It's going to be after midnight before I get to eat. I'm really, really warm. I definitely want water and cold drinks, but like there's a lot of drinks in the fridge here and they don't have sugar and stuff. And I just need food because this is like the second day now out of the 10 days of the Mary's Mini, technically 11th day, that I've skipped food just entirely throughout the day. And I didn't want to get to the same point as I did on Saturday at the beginning of this week, where I just didn't eat anything up until like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. So I said to myself, right, you know what? I did my 10 days. I'm going to relax the rules for today. I'm still going to eat vegetarian, but I'm going to have something. So I went to this place called the Food Cave, and I got myself some soft shell corn tortillas, like tacos, and some corn tortilla chips, like as nachos with tofu and what have you. This is a photograph of it. It is, as you can tell, like a huge amount of food. I don't think I actually show you the celery and stuff, but here's the celery and carrot. As you can tell, it's not really a giant meal. So I ate that, which is the tacos and stuff again. And then after I'd eaten that, I had this bottle of cola, which is, light. There's no sugar in it or anything. It's like mainly a botanical sort of thing. And I also cheated a little bit and I had 2 biscuits. But like it as far as I'm concerned, it needed to be done, and it was like it's done now. It's out the way with. I'm gonna stick by the rules of the Mary's Mini as much as possible. I might change my starch for the next couple of days. I might have some rice and stuff just to I might have some rice and stuff for the next couple of days just to break up from the potato. There's nothing wrong with potato. I still like it. I'm still going to eat it, but just a little bit of variation after the finish of the Mary's Mini is probably okay for a day or two. I mean, I'm looking at starting it properly for another 10-day stint Thursday next week. So it should be okay, right? I don't know. Anyway, so I broke what I wanted to be doing, but I at least completed what I wanted to complete. And you know what? I'm going to do it again next week. I'm going to start it again next week. And I do believe David's wanting to join in as well on that one. I think he's planning for. because he posted something about like he feels bad that he didn't finish it completely, so he's gonna do it again. He's gonna start over, which I totally get behind. Absolutely perfect, awesome. I'm with you 100% of the way, man. The only thing I would probably say to that is if it's still fruit season and fruit was your downfall because you were like, oh my God, like I must have fresh fruit. Eat an absolute ton of your fresh fruit and stuff before beginning the mini again. And then hopefully that'll satiate you on the fruit side of things for like the full 10 days. I don't know, like obviously you know yourself better than I do. Like it might be that you're already like already completely fruited out, who knows. But yeah, like we got this, man. Like come on, yeah, let's do it. I think Brian and Jessica are gonna keep it up until, I think they are definitely gonna keep it up until day 18. Or at least they're aiming to, and if anyone's gonna stick with it, I imagine it's going to be them. I mean, I definitely don't say anything against it if like they stop, because you know they've done their 10 days. They've done their Mary's mini service, you know. But yeah, like I honestly think they're gonna do a lot better at it and sticking with it than I did, which is cool. It's awesome. Anyone who is watching this, who's come along from the Mary's Mini group on Facebook, actually, if you're in the middle of it, stick with it. I know it seems hard at the first couple of days, but I honestly just had no trouble sticking to it. Like it's only now because of my own poor decisions that have led to me like falling off the wagon, but I fell off the wagon after I'd already completed the 10 days. So I think 10 days is actually like almost exactly the right amount of time for it. If you can do way more than that, I know someone was up to like day 363 or something the other day. That's amazing. That's awesome. Now, what's the matter? What's the problem, my kid? Come on, let's come up here. Do you want to come to me? Hey, here we go. Internet cat. Yeah. Hey, good kitty. Yeah, like, yeah, I you know what? I'm just going to stop talking now because I think we're at the end of where we need to be to talk about anything. So thank you very much for joining me. By all means, thank you very much for joining me. By all means, follow the social media links and stuff. I am on Facebook, but you're not getting my Facebook because I'm still trying to decide whether or not to actually make a Facebook page that people can like come to and be fans of. But everything else, like Instagram, I'm posting food on Instagram and updates and stuff. Like my Twitter is just my Twitter, like whatever. Yeah, like give me a follow or drop comments in the thing below. Possibly subscribe to the channel. Maybe ring the bell notifications. Hey. I have no idea what the sound's like because the cat keeps on attacking the cable and keeps eating the mic. Yeah, follow the links in the comments below to various social media that I've got. The usernames and stuff to follow are coming up on the screen now up here. There we go. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. That would be much appreciated. Maybe if you like, ding the bell notification as well, and then you get notified of every single video that I put up, which should be once a day, maybe a little bit more, but we never know. Oi, get off! I'll see you tomorrow for the check-in, and hopefully a brand new trailer for people that aren't subscribed to the channel as well. Hey! Look at me getting all this all this film editing done. Yay! Right. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you've had a wonderful time doing your Mary's Mini or are having a good time following it. And I hope that you are doing well with your weight loss journey if that's what you're doing as well. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.